Hi, it's Rev Granny Jan here from the Community Apostolic Episcopal Church of Canada, and it is Sunday, July 19th. We're past the middle of July. I can't believe it. I hope everyone is safe out there. My goodness, we woke up on Tuesday here with an orange sky as a result of the smoke and stuff that was coming our way. It was my daughter literally came upstairs and said, "Is this the apocalypse? What is happening out there?" It was a scary time, and so we've been keeping an eye on there's straight here. We've been keeping an eye on the air quality out here. It's actually a really good day today. It has cooled down quite a bit. We've got sun. We can actually see the sun, and we can actually see the blue sky, which is awesome. Anyway, I led worship today, but I did not write the service, and so I did not preach today, shall we go with. We actually did something on refugees, and it was amazing to hear this woman's story. She actually worked at a refugee camp in Greece, and she got to tell us of her experience and the experiences that she saw of the refugees who were there, and it was absolutely amazing. But anyway, that isn't what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to read you today's um, lectionary reading, which is the Gospel according to Matthew, chapter 13, beginning at the 24th verse. To skip a little bit in there, it ends at 43. So let's start. It's the parable of the weeds. He put before them another parable. The kingdom of heaven may be compared to someone who has sowed good seed in his field. But while everyone was asleep, an enemy came by and sowed weeds among the wheat and then went away. So when the plants came up and bore grain, then the weeds appeared as well. And the slaves of the householder came and said to him, "Master, did you not sow good seed in the field? Where then did these weeds come from?" He answered, "An enemy has done this." The slaves said to him, "Then do you want us to go in and gather them?" But he replied, "No, for in gathering the weeds you would uproot the wheat along with them. Let both of them grow together until the harvest, and at harvest time I will tell the reapers, collect the weeds first, bind them in bundles to be burned, but gather the wheat into my barn." Then he left the crowds and went into the house, and his disciples approached him, saying, "Explain to us the parable of the weeds of the field." This, of course, the disciples talking to Jesus. He answered, "The one who sows the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world, and the good seed are the children of the kingdom. The weeds are the children of the evil one, and the enemy who sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the age, and the reapers are the angels. Just as the weeds are collected and burned up with the fire, so will it be at the end of the age. The Son of Man will send his angels, and they will collect out his kingdom all causes of sin and all evildoers, and they will throw them into the furnace of fire, where they will be weeping and will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Then the righteous will shine like the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Let anyone with ears listen. So the sower of the seeds. I'm not going to get deep into the second part of that, where Jesus talks about the evildoers and fire and brimstone stuff, because that's totally on me. But my take on it is, of course, we, myself included, go out and we preach the good word. We do our best to get across the feelings of Jesus that he brought from the feelings of God and the Holy Spirit, to bring those thoughts, bring the word to people. But life is life. People are also out there listening to other things, and certainly with the internet these days, they're listening to all sorts of crazy things, and you don't even know what's right anymore with artificial intelligence, which, quite frankly, artificial intelligence scares me. I actually worked in the IT world, and more recently, although it was more than 10 years ago, I worked with cybersecurity, so I know enough to be scared of artificial intelligence and things that happen out there. And there are things that you see and you think it's really those people talking and the words of those people, and it may not be. You have to be really careful to know what is actually true and real out there and what isn't. And so that is a lot about in relation to sowing the seed. We can only sow the good stuff out there and hope that it lands and takes roots and becomes strong and lives in people. And so that anything that comes their way that is not good and kind and giving and all of that stuff doesn't take root. Now, some of it may, as weeds do, tend to take root, and you have to pull them out later down the road. Know in your heart which is the right stuff to pull out and throw away, and what is the right stuff to let continue to root or to harvest, to be a really true, good and kind and wonderful person. That's what Jesus asked us to do. He asked us to love God and love our neighbor as ourselves. And if we are truly doing that, then we aren't letting those weeds really take hold. We are ignoring that stuff that is suggesting that we do otherwise. Whatever we do to the lesser of these, you do for me. That is what Jesus said. So whatever we do for those, as we learned today in today's discussion at our church about refugees, Jesus was a refugee himself. I mean, he wasn't even born where his family lived. And then, because of what was going on in the world at that time where he was, they escaped into Egypt. So they became refugees there. And one would hope, one might even assume, since they survived, that they were looked after there. They were looked after as hopefully even one of their own, which is what we should be doing with refugees who come here. And that is sowing those good seeds, not only amongst ourselves and those who are already here, but also amongst those who are coming here to learn and to be here, because it is not safe where they are. Or where their homeland is, and there are far too many countries that are that way. So let's sow those good seeds. Let's sow those good, strong seeds that last past the weeds, and that we sow them strong enough that those are the thoughts that stay with people, and that people are willing indeed to live the way that Jesus lived. We do our best. Those of us who are teaching the word do our best to try to live those words as well. That those seeds are very strong in us, and we hope that the seeds that we now plant are strong in others, that they will learn to welcome those refugees among us, and sow good seeds with them, and show them how hospitable that we can be, and how welcoming and kind. And because as neighbors, when we came here, when the indigenous people lived here, we did not do so good a job of that. We were not good refugees. We actually made the indigenous feel like refugees in their own country, and was really awful. And we're working on trying to fix that, because that was not the right thing to do. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up, and I hope that you all have a fantastic week. That I say at the end of all of my services at the two churches, the pastoral charge that I lead worship in. Go in peace and return often. I hope that, as I said, you do have a fantastic week, and I will be back here next week, because I am leading worship next week, and I'm about to actually literally working at my desk here. I'm actually about to start on the order of service for next week. So we will see you then.